Just wait for Lucy. I'm now live. Today's going to be a special reunion episode. A few years ago I done a live with a girl called Lucy, and she has a neurological issue like me, but hers is different. Well, I believe that's her that's just wanted to come in, so tell her story. Oh!
Ryan!
Hello. You alright?
Hello, you alright?
Yeah, not too bad. It's been, what, 2 years this year?
Hiya!
That's Charles, he's still in bed.
We met each other at the radio.
Yeah. This is Lucy that you met at the radio when you said hi to Fern Britain when it was actually Vanessa Phelps.
How's your mum?
My mum, she is all groovy.
She's all great. Well, your mum's a pretty sound lass, to be fair. Oh, so if anybody isn't aware, like as I was saying at the beginning, me and Lucy done a radio show called BBC Radio 1 Life Hacks.
Life hacks.
I mean, you can still kind of find it on BBC iPlayer, you just can't play it anymore.
There's a podcast.
Yeah, it's not there anymore. It's
Oh.
gone. Oh, we've been trying to get it back. So obviously I have Tourettes syndrome, which is a neurological disorder. Lucy, would you like to tell these guys what you have?
My neurological is a Stammer, which is another speech impediment.
You got through it. You got through it. Oh, but that's why we done the radio show together, is because it was both a speech impediment that, well, I don't really know if I class Tourette's as a speech impediment, but I guess because of the vocalization. Oh, but
there's still a delay in what you're saying. Like even with the stammer, when I was younger, I had a stammer. It was restricting to say what you want to say, and then by the time you say what you want to say, you get frustrated with yourself. And then other people get frustrated. And that's what we said before, even in the radio show. Did you get frustrated with people trying to finish off your sentences, Lucy? So it's one of those things that people like to take control, but we want independence when we have a stammer or Tourette's or a disability.
yeah, that's true. You just hear his voice on the other side of the camera. I can't really pan him because he's not dressed, but like, he had a point. Oh, so yeah, what have you been doing since the radio show? Has it got better or?
It's really fluctuated.
Nothing.
So this morning has very much went very like up and down, which is very very frustrated.
Oh, so if I'm correct, does your stammer wax and wane? So it's like certain parts of the day or some days it can be okay, and then the next, like, it can be really bad. So sort of along the same line as Tourette's, it's you get wax and the wane from it.
Yeah. So how does last week my speech was really fluent for the whole week, and then something just kind of clicked, and then it's just kind of been very high and low, and like this whole region here really hurts most of the time at the moment.
Oh, is that because like it feel you're trying to force the words out as well, or is it just?
Yeah.
See, I wonder if there is a connection, because like we were talking, weren't we, on the radio show, about like how stammer is a misfire in the brain, and that's literally what Tourette's is. And but if the thing is I know it's going to sound really horrible saying this, but like I've noticed people that have had strokes that then end up with a stammer, but I've never noticed people that have had like strokes that end up with Tourette's. So there's loads of common similarities, and yet there's loads of like differences as well. It's a really weird one. Do you still get a lot of stigma associated to your stammer? Do you get a lot of people going, "Oh, you're not doing it now, so you're faking it"?
Yeah. So this stigma, one that I've had recently has very much been, "You're only nervous," or it's like, and like you're speaking really speedily, so that's why you're stammering. And then it's also been
Speedy Gonzalez.
We stammer all the time. It's just obviously we're all nervous, and it's like, no, like I've had this from when I was 3, and it just really fluctuates.
Yeah.
So this stigma, which I have had, is like also just a bit like, yeah, like you're nervous, or you don't like actually stammer, and it's a little bit like, you haven't seen me on my bad days.
Yeah. Woo! I had all that when I was on TV with This Morning, and it came up with saying the word like the. Got me going now. The world's most, or the UK's most severe Tourette's. Woo! And we, like, a lot of people, "Oh, he doesn't seem that bad. He's not compared to this." But hang on a minute, like I am pressing a lot, like, because I want to get my point across. I only have so much, like, a certain amount of time to be able to do that. And yeah, so I had like my partner, my dad, and a lot of other strangers, but it could be different. He could be fine this day and then different the next. And it's just hard when people don't get hidden problems. I mean, like, I've broken my thumb. Everyone can see that I've broken my thumb, but they can't see that my brain's broken. So well, I wouldn't say our brain is broken. I would say it's more uniquely mapped out.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like recently what I've had to do is rearrange my words.
Okay.
To make it like actually head out of my mouth. And that's been very frustrating for me, as like I haven't had to rearrange for about 11 years. And what people don't like understand is it's just sort of like they can obviously see what happens here, but
yeah,
they have no idea what happens here.
Yeah. So, like, do you know the word that wants to come out of your mouth? It just, there's something, there's a block.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
A lot of people think I'm very indecisive. Whereas like I'm not, like I know exactly what I want to say.
Yeah.
And then like I have to rearrange my wording, and it's just not for like, yeah, like it's not okay for me to rearrange. Like, I don't like.
Because obviously you want to say something, and then like, what's that? So instead of a writer's block as such, it's speech block, I guess.
That.
that was a very good. How do you put it? Metaphor.
Yeah.
Well, so I guess like, whereas your mouth or your brain's trying to stop you from saying something, mine works the other way around. It wants me to say stuff, and then I can't stop that.
Like,
it's brain is a weird mush of like electrons.
When I had a stammer as well, I think sometimes, even today, I struggle with saying things that I want to say, and then it comes out completely wrong. And it's because I've already said it in my head, and then I've come out with it, and then I've thought about what I've said, and I was like, actually, I've said it in the wrong way, but I've missed out what I wanted to say because I've said half of it in my head, and then half of it I've not.
So what you're saying is where you had your stammer, and you had to rearrange your words like what Lucie's on about.
Yeah, that's what
You've now got into a habit of rearranging words before you say it, and then
I say completely
and
wrong.
then he says completely the wrong thing. Okay, right, I kind of get that. Oh, I don't know if you do. Do you relate to that, or?
Half and half. Mine is very much the blah 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 word is all up here and here, ready to come out my mouth. Whereas when it's not, like, it's a bit like, oh, like, here we go.
Yeah. Hi, Meg. But like, no, I completely get that. Like, there's times where I want to say things and they won't come out. Like, I have a stammering tic every now and then. That does come out mainly when I'm more nervous. Or especially after I've had a tic attack. It's very there. Oh, see, it's where my tics are observational and all that. But I do talk too fast sometimes as well. My brain does literally switch, or my brain works too fast for what I want to say sometimes, and that's why sometimes I'll write and then I'll miss things out. So that's why I don't really like writing handwriting. And so like, I just find the brain an extraordinary thing. And are you more creative?
Yes. So so where like speaking is sometimes really really hard. When I speak, obviously that's really hard. So when I write, my writing is, well, apparently it's really good. My writing.
My writing's crap. I can put things in, so creatively, I can put things into words, or I'd want to write a book, or for years I've had like an idea for a trilogy, either book-wise, film-wise, or do 3 series. I've probably got about 2 ideas for them. But putting pen to paper when I was in media was always the worst bit. As soon as I was on the camera, not me on the camera personally, I could be filming, or I could be like directing, like sort of thing. That was brilliant. I could do that. Pen to paper, it wouldn't come out. I could not write it down, or it wouldn't come out right. It was just, and yet I'm so creative in talking, and it's just so strange.
Yeah, it was the artist I guess Arif I guess 8.
I don't think Charlie might have heard of them.
So
What film?
Nice.
He went on to America's pop idol years and years ago, and he had a stammer. And then yeah.
Yeah.
And then when he and then when he had music and he and he did not stammer at all, and that's like me. But I can't sing, so
Oh, it's like me when I do TikToks. I rarely tick when I'm lip syncing. So like it kind of, yeah, so like when I'm lip syncing, I'm concentrating on that lip sync. It's kind of like I want to say I'm concentrating, so I'm not. And to answer Evie Meg's question, me and Lucy have met before. Evie, we've done a radio show together on BBC One called Radio Life Hacks, something like that. It's a stammer, and Lucy here has a stammer, which is another form of neurological speech impediment. So we're just I'm kind of broadening the horizons on this Tourettes with friends with Tourettes, or Tourettes with friends, because I want to kind of like, I mean, when me and Lucy met first off, there was a load of like interweaving connections on like the social workings of the brain and all this lot. So we're just kind of like talking it out really, and giving it a bit of a. Are you putting your hands up?
Yeah, one thing. One thing I want to say about Gareth Gates, especially, is that I relate to Gareth Gates is because that he found something.
You just can't sing.
In a sense, that when you find something that is going to give you some relief from a stammer or Tourette's or ticking or anything of that sort, because there's a lot of people with mental health and a lot of people with neurological issues that rely upon a talent or a hobby or something that distracts them from it. So I know that Lucy says that she can't sing, but is she creative in art, writing?
She can write. She can do good writing.
Invest in doing that, and then maybe
I might hire her as a scribe.
Don't
know why that.
Do audio book reading, so that everyone can read your book and it can be adapted to people that can't read, so that you can read it to them. Because you've written that story, you've got an attachment with that book, so maybe do audio books, and that'll give you the confidence to start speaking a little bit more. So that's probably what gave Gareth Gates the confidence, is the fact that he was noticed for what he was always shunned away for. So Gareth Gates was bullied when he was younger, and that's why he had a stammer. And that's all subsided now that that bully or the negativity is.
Yeah, where's he gone now? He literally done Joseph Rainbow Coast and
exactly.
Gone.
So it's become very successful, and I think
what was it?
That's because people are jealous that they think that it was fake.
Oh yeah.
There's this comedian called Drew Lynch, and he has a stammer, and he made a hilarious, it was honestly hilarious, one, and said, just imagine if you had a stammer and you was GPS. There we go. And the most hilarious one is like, right, take a. Oh no, you turn.
I think I've heard that joke. Like I've heard somebody say that. Evie Meg has a question. Have you had a stammer all your life, Lucy, or did something trigger it?
Interesting question. So I started stammering when I was 3, and I started speaking when I was 3. So I've had it my whole life, but my brother, he had a stammer when he was younger, but his stammer went when he was 6. So when I turned that age, like I was going, it's gonna be gone. I was like, it's gonna be gone. And then
wake up on your 6th birthday and suddenly we had to speak fluently.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, I know. And then when it stayed, I was like, well, haven't I pulled the short straw?
Well, did you really pull the short straw? I mean, come on, you wouldn't have managed to be able to get on BBC Radio if just like blue hair, as much as I love your blue hair. But you managed to be able, you managed to educate people. And that's a good thing about this live. I mean, you're educating like people now. The people come in and go, oh, you've got Tourettes. No, actually, she's got a stammer. But I have noticed one thing. Your eyes close a lot when you're struggling for words. So is that part of a natural occurrence of the stammer, or is it? I want to ask: is it a nervous or like a tic or something, or does it help relieve pressure?
When that happens, as like when I stammer, oh look, I've done it again. That it like that has happened yeah, like all my life. So you know when you have one and you kind of go like that, like. That like also happens to me. I just like out the blue.
Yeah.
Get my words out.
Oh, see, that's why I'm finding these different similarities to it. I mean, like, oh yeah, when like I'm having a real bad tic, my eyes will close, and I wonder if that's kind of like I want to say a natural fight or flight response to, or like if you want to look into like behavioural studies, like when people were telling a lie, they look to the left because your left is the most creative part of the brain, right? So stay with me for a second. They look to the left because they're trying to recreate something or emphasise on a point. If they're telling the truth, they either look right or they look dead ahead. No, they either look right, and then if they want to emphasise on something, they look dead at your eyes. So but then I'm wondering if that can be the same. When people close their eyes, they're trying to forget something, or they're trying to, like, sort of not realise it's there or want to know it's there. So I'm kind of wondering, if like there's points where when we're struggling and our eyes close, is it our way of going, yes, we know there's some sort of trauma going on for that split second. Do we have to shut our eyes? I know that sounds really stupid, probably very far-fetched, but that could be my theory, actually.
Exactly. Like at the end of like who knows? But what people don't like also realise is like when you either when it's really hard, you know, like it hurts your chest, your spine, everything.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, I know how you feel on that one. Evie Meg says, I have a stammer tic. That's why I wasn't sure if she had Tourette's. No, I have a stammer tic too. I think it kind of works on the same sort of basis, Evie. So like, there's times where we can't get our word across because of a block, because of a tic wants to come out, and whereas for Lucy, it's very much sort of she wants to talk, and yet there's no there's like a block that's stopping her from talking. Oh, so it's just we're trying to find similarities, and I'm trying to bring more awareness to other neurological conditions, because again, stammer is one of those ones where there is stigma associated to it. And I mean, if you guys have been watching, you'll notice that I've not once tried to finish Lucy's sentence for her. I want people to realise that she will be able to get her word across, and it may take some time, but I'm not here to suddenly go, oh, so you mean this? Oh, you mean that? No, I'm going to let Lucy.
That's the worst.
I know. I've had it happen to me plenty of times. I've been ticking a lot, and a lot of people will be like, oh, do you mean this? And I'm just let me finish ticking and let me finish talking, and then it's like, yeah. It is a very calm tick day today. I'm kind of chilling. I mean, I've had CSI on the TV. Oh, yeah, I've murdered someone. I've been sorting out the new baby turtle. I mean, he's not been eating, and I finally ordered some gourmet shrimp online for him, and now he's eating. And I'm kind of hoping he doesn't think that's all he's getting all his life.
Ryan's got a lovely shirt on, but he's sat in his boxers.
I'm not sat in my boxers.
I'm joking. That's most people's live streams.
Yeah, most people's live streams, it's from up to top. It does make you feel like a baby when people try and finish your sentences or try and finish everything for you. Oh, it's like there's a case of like Charlie does it sometimes, and he does annoy me. Is when I want to cook dinner, and there's times where I can't go near sharp knives, but I will want to cook dinner. It's my meatball recipe. I'm cooking it. Oh no, let me do it. Let me help you out. No.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a question. I was saying that to Charlie. It must be frustrating. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Yes, I'm not even gonna try to read that out loud, but I get that. Yeah. Yeah. So when people attempt to do that, when it's my mum knows exactly what I want to say. So when I'm really, really struggling, that's when I just look at her like, help. But that's what happens just with me. However, when it's either my friend, or someone else or a stranger.
Strangers are the worst.
Yeah, it's just kind of like when they get the word right, like it's a bit of a half and half thing. It's like it's a little bit like that you're not too sure. Whether to be like, you've helped me, or hang on, you haven't helped me. Leo, right. This is Ryan, Leo. So
I was wondering who are you, Charlie? I was like, that's why my eyes sort of went. I was like looking at Charlie like, oh. So.
However, the worst one is when they get it wrong, and it's just one of those moments.
That's a very good question. So Lucy, like obviously Tourettes is portrayed in films, right? And I mean, me and Charlie watched the new Predator film a year or so ago, and they had a bloke in there that has Tourettes. Now I enjoyed the film until that part, because he would just sit there and go, fuck man. And it's kind of like, okay,
He didn't actually have Tourette's.
no, he didn't actually have Tourette's. The character did, but they really did portray it on the comedy side. Oh, look, we've got a big alien thing. We need to have a comedic sort of issue. So obviously, like, Tourette's in films is portrayed completely differently and completely wrong. Well, most films anyway. So how do you feel about, like,
Sorry, that's
how do you feel about, like, so have you seen the film It?
Yes.
So how do you feel about, like, the stammer that's portrayed in that film by Billy? I mean, the way Stephen King writes it in his book is brilliant.
Yeah.
It's hard to get something like that across on screen, I would say, at times.
The way it was, the way he was with it was actually the most realistic one I have seen. However, the only little tweak I would make is the one that's not realistic is you can't see the actual strain.
Yeah.
However, the most realistic one, in whoever hasn't watched it needs to watch it, is the Ing's speech. That is the most realistic I have seen it, and the swearing scene is spot on. As that is actually true. Like, when I swear, it kind of lets out like all the frustration, and it really helps out. Like on here, like, you know, like I'm like attempting to keep it quite minimal, but
swear all you like. I
don't care. Here's a very right. Fuckity bugger, shit, willy, tits.
Get it out.
Yeah, literally. So whenever like my speech is really hard, like I literally just swear, and it really helps.
I mean, there's people with Tourette's that I know that need to use a punch bag, and there's people with other issues that I need to, like, do you know what I mean? Like, when I need to sort of like let stress out, I know it sounds really stupid, is I do like to get up and do my turtles, but sometimes Charlie's like, sit down, you're getting in the way of the TV, shut the fuck up. No, I'm joking. Oh, I have lost him though recently to the Xbox. He has got more of a relationship with the Xbox during lockdown than he has with me. See you later, Evie Meg.
Bye, Evie.
And then, so obviously lockdown's been a bit pervious. Oh no, sorry. Going back to the media side of it and having stammers portrayed, and you said the only tweak is that you don't see the struggle side of it. Me being in media would say, obviously I've seen you struggle today, and I've seen the strain in that. That would take up a large chunk of the script.
Exactly.
Do you sort of know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they do have to kind of cut it back a little bit. So yeah, I mean, like that's probably the only reason why they can't have a full-on, like, if they want to portray the stammer, it's going to be your typical sort of wording. So yeah, I kind of get that kind of sense. So how have you been during lockdown anyway?
Lockdown has been okay. It's just obviously been it's but very hard on my speech, as it's just where I usually see my friends and things, and I also see my lovely partner. It's obviously like I usually speak a lot, whereas with this lockdown, like, I haven't really been a bit been speaking a lot. So it's just kind of been, that's when my head's all like, this girl's vulnerable, like, let's just flare up.
So I guess like, in a sense, where you haven't gone out and vocally spoke to someone, where I'm not, like, this is probably helping. It's probably one of the longest conversations you've had for a while. When I do the lives, it's one of the most interesting conversations I've had in ages, because I'm meeting people, or I'm re-talking to people and talking to friends. So I guess, like, kind of, when you've had a long period of not being able to vocalise what you want to say, does that affect your stammer? Where you've been vocally quiet, when you want to speak, sometimes it's a bit more of a struggle, or?
Yeah, so it's just sort of like, when I'm with friends and things, and with, like, my mum, and yeah, it's sort of like, it still flares up. It's never not there. However, when I'm with my friends and things, like, I don't get as humiliated. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's because they kind of know to read between, like, I tell people to read between the tics.
Yeah.
And then, like, so you got my words, and then you kind of, like, read between. So I guess, like, people that you're in a relationship with, family and friends, they're just like people who I know that kind of got used to me ticking at the point they won't even know that I'm ticking, because their brain blocks it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the horrible, ignorant strangers you get. That you need speech therapy. You need to do this. Exorcist. Oh, I'm surprised you haven't had anyone messaging you yet saying you've got a demon in your throat. That's why.
That actually happened last year.
No way.
Yeah. So someone messaged me about, they was like, you shouldn't have weird hair, you shouldn't have piercings, you shouldn't have tattoos. And then once they realised about my speech, they also said, you need an exorcism. You've got a demon in you, and that's why you also stammer, and your stammer is making you do all these bad life choices.
Oh my life.
And the one main thing is it's just sort of like, I just replied with, do you want to see you want to see one? And then that's when I was like, yeah, and I was like, he's a demon. Go on.
See, I don't get that. It's like, what are they? What are people wanting to do? Like, are they wanting to, like, exercise a demon and put it into the pig? Like sort of. Again, it's stigma, isn't it? Anything with neurological that can't be seen, it's got to be supernatural. Now, I believe in things like that, but it's just like, maybe we are possessed. Maybe we are hell's chosen ones. I don't know. But if we are, I know I'm going to the most fun place in the world. Because I'd rather be
Jesus.
down there than up there. So that's literally, mate. Right, to end this, because we've only got a few more minutes left, because Instagram likes to cut off lives after an hour.
Yes.
What are you doing for the rest of the summer?
The rest of the summer, I am just going to be at work, enjoying myself. Hopefully, I can see friends soon and see my partner. And obviously, after this lockdown, meet you.
Well, my plan is to breed some turtles, or if I can get the pod breeding, that would be nice. I don't know, I'm just going to do what I'm doing.
Vibe.
Just carry on being me. TikToks, CSI, Supernatural, I'm just doing me. And that's all I'm doing.
You do you.
Charlie can praise God. I was quoting the GC there.
Well, my darling, it was
So anyway,
lovely
Lucy,
seeing you.
brilliant talking to you. Yeah, so we will need to meet up fully after the lockdown. I mean, you need to come here. You need to come see all the shell babies.
I want to hug him.
Yeah, it's only a train journey away.
Yeah.
Or, you know, ring up the BBC and get an Addison Lee taxi. No, I'm joking. So, but yeah, we're going to have to call it quits there for today, because otherwise it's going to come up going, you've got 30 seconds left. And I'm like, yes, keep smiling. I'm going to put I've got thousands of snippets I can really use on YouTube, on TikTok. Like, tag Lucy and everything. We will get your following up there, Hans. But again, I think a stammer is something that needs to be made aware of. There's lots of people with speech impediments, and again, your story can be heard to one person. You can just have that one person. This is why I do these lives. Yeah, any awareness is good awareness. Any press is bad press. Let's put it that way.
Was lovely meeting you too.
So, yeah, I will message you after this, because I'm going to need a selfie from you to do a thumbnail, and then I'm just going to download this straight away and whack it up onto YouTube and put it on TikTok, and then and it's also going to be part of, like, people now can go on my profile on here and they see the little IGTV, and it's actually now classed as a series. So this is episode 6 of the series of Tourettes with Friends. So yeah.
Well, I love you lots, Ryan.
I love you too, and I'm glad we reconnected, and I'm glad we've done this. Right. I'll see you later. Bye. Bye. Bye.